you Craftaliticans. This is the 6th attempt to make this video. So if this one finally makes it up, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you're all okay, no matter where you are and when you're watching. I am so grateful that you joined me. Please excuse the state of me and the noises that my dog is making. I haven't had a lot of sleep. I've had about an hour's sleep on the sofa. I watched some live streams, and caught up on some YouTubey stuff that I'm interested in following. I've been watching a lot of Cinema Shogun. I really like him. Like, I don't think we could come across as more opposite. Husker. I really don't. I am, a very white English person, and I speak a certain way, and he is unfiltered. He doesn't hold back. His language is very salty, and I'm here for it. I am here for it because, he is his true, authentic self. This isn't a personality. Sorry, let's see if I can keep the dog quiet. This isn't, just a personality he puts on. He comes across as being really genuine, and he speaks truth to power. And he's been, I've been following his stuff since the Kylie Rodney case, because he does speak truth to power, and we need more of that. And that's what today's video is all about. So please hit the like, subscribe, the bell button for notifications, share this video with anyone that you think might benefit from it. Because that is the best way to help my channel grow. Thank you. So speaking truth to power, we usually hear that in terms of politics. The first time I really became familiar with the concept was through The West Wing, when Will Bailey, who is played by Josh Malina, is set up to see whether he can speak truth to power, whether he can say to the president, this isn't right. This isn't how we should be doing things. And he stumbles over his words, and he wants to say it's a bad idea, but he doesn't know how, and, all the rest of it. And we all have moments of that in our life, not with the president, or with people in that level of authority, but we do have those interactions on a regular basis with our partners, with friendship groups, with our boss, our peers at work, and colleagues. The list goes on. Even, when you are out and about and you see something happen, someone is physically bullying someone else, that is a situation where you are speaking truth to power, because you have the option to go into this and say, hey, that behavior is not acceptable, or you kind of turn your head and walk away. And we need to, as individuals, we have to decide where our morals and ethics are, and how we then turn that into something positive for ourselves and other people. Because it's only through those individual actions that we are going to make a change. Trickle down economics doesn't work, and trickle down social norms don't work. It's got to come from the people. Your individual voice has meaning, and it has power. And when we speak truth to power, we are slowly changing minds. We've got to be respectful, and we've got to be honest, and we've got to be open for a bit of pushback and a debate. But if everyone goes into it with that same mindset, you can have that debate. Now, I follow a lot of right-leaning American YouTubers. I am not that. But I like the debate. I like hearing the other side, and I will respectfully push back when I think they've not seen a point. And it's not about me being right and them being wrong. It's about me saying, hey, have you thought about it from this point of view? I have done it a few times recently. Sorry, more biscuits. Keep it all quiet. I've done it a few times recently where, I've commented on someone's YouTube video and I've said, hey, I think this is a bad take. Or to me, this feels like, or, this is how I interpret. And the vast majority of YouTubers won't respond. They'll like comments around what you've said, but they won't respond to you because you didn't agree with them. And, that speaks volumes about them as people. And there are others who will kind of go, valid point. You're not going to reach everyone. You're not. And there are some people that are in power who want that power. You look at what's happening at AWP right now. Staff started leaving over a year ago because they didn't like the grift. They didn't like being forced to film families at their absolute most heartbroken because it was good TV. It was a moneymaker for the channel. Because the more you see AWP personnel comfort people, the more you buy into their idea. Now, don't get me wrong, I was an AWP fan, was never keen on Jared, but I liked the purpose, I liked the mission. But some of their videos they felt like a soap opera. They felt hammed up. And sometimes you'd get a video where you're like, why are you in that area? You can't give us any information about why you're searching in that area. It makes no sense. And there's a certain amount of, armchair detective going on, and there's a certain amount of this is for the drama. No, sit down. Thank you. And now we've got Sam the Adventure Man and his son Kyler. Go and have a look at them. Their live stream last night was absolutely brilliant, and they were honest. I have no reason to believe that either of them knew anything about the indictment and the charges related to that. They both had moral issues with how the business was run, the grift, and how victims' families, people who are grieving and desperate for answers, were being exploited for clicks, for views, for subscriptions, and for merch. And I have no reason to doubt that. They left before the allegations came along. But in their speaking truth to power and saying to Jared, we don't like this, they were shunned. They received harassment. They have had to deal with mental health and physical health issues that are related to that. And this is what I want to say. If they ever see this video, like, I see you. I really do, because keeping your mouth shut is so harmful to yourself. You are bottling up how you feel because the other person seems to be an authority to you. If you say something, that person, especially someone who is capable of exploiting and manipulating family members, and someone who always seems to come out on top, and gets a free pass because they're successful, it is really difficult to speak to that person and say, hey, I don't agree with this. And the fact that you did, and then lived with that harassment and everything else, thank you. As a survivor, if more people had spoken truth to those people in power, my life would have been very different. And no one did, because no one wants that wrath kind of turned on them. There's self-preservation, and there's enabling terrible behavior that is only going to get worse. There are some people that are just going to keep pushing that boundary and keep pushing that boundary, and it's going to damage more and more people. So the fact that you tried to speak truth to power and you voted with your feet, I applaud. I absolutely do. And the fact that you stand with victims and survivors, and you are urging these people to come forward, I am like, thank you. Because to any survivors out there, your voice is enough. Your voice is enough. You don't have to have a bunch of evidence and photographs and everything else to come forward and say, hey, I have been experiencing this terrible behavior. And there are those of us, myself included, that have your back. If you are brave enough, if you're in a place to, if you want to, we will have your back. I believe victims, I follow the evidence. That's how I work. I try not to let my past with this kind of situation colour my views. But if the police have got an indictment, then there's enough there to proceed with a prosecution. Now, it could be an elaborate hoax. I don't believe it is. I'm going to stake my reputation on it. I don't think it is. Because what we're now learning about the person, the kind of person, the person who's willing to shove a camera in someone's face when they've just been told that their loved one is in the car. The kind of person who is willing to fuel conspiracy theories for clicks with the Kylie Rodney case and exploit Kylie Rodney's family and put her friends, her ex-boyfriends, all of these other people and YouTubers in danger and put through harassment for clicks is not my kind of person. Not someone I want to support. And it's about time truth got told to power. The tables are turning, and we can tell truth to power on a weekly, daily basis. We can stand up for what we think is morally right. We can vote with our feet. And this comes back to Kanye and Elon Musk. This is about telling truth to power. This is about saying, nope, not for me, thanks. Stop subscribing, stop responding to their tweets, stop, buying their stuff, stop giving them money that then gives them power over you. And stand up and say, I don't agree with your policy. I don't agree with the way you treat your staff. I don't agree with the grift. Don't get me wrong. I'm on YouTube because eventually I would like to make some money out of it. I have 25 subscribers right now. I am 975 away from getting monetized. I'm also 3,960 hours away from being viewed hours being monetized. Do I want to make money from it? Yeah, eventually. But I also know that there are YouTubers out there that have been working really hard to get to their viewership. It's taken them 10 years. This isn't a get money quick scheme. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. This is a slow burn because I think I have something worth saying, and I think there are people out there who need someone like me, someone like these other YouTubers to stand up for them and say, I got your back. If we all get together and say enough is enough, if we all get together and vote with our feet and vote with our wallets and everything else, we can make a positive change in the world. If we all go into a shop and we see someone being harassed and we stand up and say, hey, that's not okay, back it up. And we make sure the person that is being harassed is okay. If we all step in, we see someone have their bum grabbed in a club or like on the street, we say, hey, excuse me, are you okay? Was that consensual? Hey, person who did the grabbing, not yours. Not consent. If we all make those little changes and we all have a little bit of courage, and it does take courage. It is a brave thing to talk truth to power. But if we all make those little changes every day, we can make day-to-day life a lot better. We can make a positive change for the people we interact with. Even if we just make one person smile that day, one person feel seen and understood and appreciated as a human being, we are doing a good job. We are also alleviating our own stress. The world right now is just, what is going on? So making that positive change, coming home and going, do you know, I made someone smile today, is the nicest feeling. You've made a positive impact. It makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. And it alleviates our stress. You know, when someone does that for us, the amount of times I see, you know, thank you for this, my faith in humanity has been restored. All it took is someone saying, hey, I did a thing today, or hey, someone did a thing for me today. So, you know, when we band together and we all make these little changes, it is good for us, it is good for other people. And it brings us closer together. Regardless of politics or religion or any of these other things that we are told by power should divide us, we have so much more in common. See my music video with Benny about the fact that music is universal. Every culture, the only one culture I know of that doesn't have music is the Amish community, but everyone else has music and song and rhythm. And that is something that brings us together, that you feel right down deep in your chest. You can connect with that. And, you know, we need to concentrate on the things that bring us together right now with everything else that is going on. As what I'm seeing in Florida, I have friends in Florida who are pulling together, and those that are more fortunate are getting in the car and going and getting meals, or, you know, directing the people on the ground as to who needs the help most. They're reaching their arms out to each other. And we need to be doing more of that. That's the kind of thing that is going to get those people and those communities through what is a devastating situation that suddenly is getting no press. It's not hot news anymore. But there are still people without homes. There are still people living in tents. My friend said there is a family living in tents on the property that had their house on it and doesn't anymore. That's where we need to be concentrating things. We don't need to be thinking up here and concentrating on the things that authority figures tell us are important, because they're telling us what's important to them. They're telling us what's going to get them reelected or what is going to get them more money. And they're not concentrating on what the people on the ground really need. And that's where we need to be concentrating. That's where society changes, is, you know, us little people. So do something nice for someone today. If you get an opportunity, respectfully but firmly tell truth to power. Don't get into arguments. Don't throw insults, because that doesn't, you lose the moral high ground. It doesn't change anything. It just paints you out to be, you know, it gives the other person the excuse, right? If you call someone in authority a name, that then makes them a victim. It gives them the power back. You do things respectfully. You debate. You have these ideas that can't be refuted, that have evidence, then use it. Use your voice. And I hope that you are going to use that to make a difference for yourself and for others, because being able to do that alleviates it. If you're bottling things up, it constricts the blood vessels and it makes your heart race and all sorts of other things. It has a physical, it's more likely to give you stomach problems too. So it gives you a physical and emotional backlash. Don't keep hold of it, but channel it into positive change. Tell truth to power where you can, where it's appropriate to. Obviously, don't lose your job over it, you know? Pick and choose your battles, but if you get the opportunity to respectfully say, I disagree, then do it. If you agree or disagree, please leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. I will link some of the stuff that I've referenced in the description, like usual. But I hope you've liked this video. Do give it a thumbs up, please, because that means more people see my stuff. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Please take care of yourselves, whoever you are and wherever you are so appreciated. Have a great day.